Hi everyone, welcome to the Coconut Heads channel. So today, the other half of the Coconut Heads is going to share wrist conditioning exercises. So, what are some of the benefits of wrist conditioning?
So the wrist conditioning exercises are part of the warm-ups and conditioning for our Aikido training, and they teach us or help us develop the capacity to receive the Aikido techniques. They also teach us how to apply those techniques on our training partners. And in the weapons component of our training, they help with weapons retention, so making sure that somebody's not able to take our tool away from us.
We hope you find this useful, and if you have any questions, please reach out.
So there are 6 stretches that we do. These are meant to stretch and strengthen, condition our tendons to be able to receive technique. It teaches us what works for applying the technique to somebody else. And if we're using any kind of weapons in our practice, it helps us to retain those weapons when somebody else might be trying to disarm us. The first one is a Nikio stretch, which is going to rotate the wrist like this. So we accomplish this by taking a grip on our forearm, similar to how we hold the sword. So we're going to grab from the diagonal in our palm, from the base of our index finger to the opposite corner, and we're going to place that on the larger of the 2 forearm bones, here on the inside rather than the outside one. So, like so. And then this hand is going to come up, rotate the wrist. It rotates because we maintain our grip. Rotate the wrist, and then come down, stretching my right hand for about 10 seconds or 3 slow breaths. And once we've held this for a period of time, we can switch to the other side, the same grip, and again up, rotate the wrist, stretch, 10 seconds or about 3 slow breaths. The second stretch is going to condition the tendons on the top of our wrist. We're going to accomplish this by taking our palm on the back of the hand that we're stretching, getting a good firm grip. We don't want there to be a gap. Somebody might be able to wrestle free. So we want a good solid grip, and we lower the elbow. Again, about 10 seconds or 3 slow breaths. When we are ready to transition, take the grip on the opposite hand, bend the wrist here, stretching the top of the wrist. So the third stretch is going to be for the kodakaishi, or the outward turn of the wrist. So we're conditioning ourselves to receive this twisting motion in our wrist. We accomplish that by taking a kodakaishi grip, so grabbing the thumb pad and placing our thumb between the 2 joints on the outside of our hand. We start with our hand on our center line, and we can lower and then twist outward. Hold it. And then when you're ready, transition. Again, thumb pad between the last 2 knuckles, right on the center line, and then apply the stretch. If you're interested in exploring it a little bit, I found that I like to move the hand a little bit in front of my body to find where this technique can be applied even if the hand isn't located right in front of my body. This is the most important one. This is where you should start. But when you get a good stretch here, it's okay to start exploring how this technique can also be applied when the wrist is in a different orientation to the body. All right, so the next stretch, Sankyo. It's a little bit complex, but I'll do our best here. So you want to start by having the hand upside down, palm facing to the opposite side, and you go ahead and take palm to palm, kind of like you're awkwardly shaking upside down. And then you want the elbow not to be held up, but you actually want the grip and the reach to be what lifts the elbow. For when you're at a training partner, you want to reach in and bring that elbow up on them. So once it's in this position, you then want to turn the palm towards their face and apply that twist of the wrist there. The other thing we want to be careful of is we want the hand to be further than the elbow. If it's too close, the person receiving the technique can drop their elbow in reverse. But if we're a little further away like this, it's harder for the person to drop their elbow. So we apply to the first side, and then transition and apply to the second side. All right, this one's much more straightforward. We're going to be stretching the inside of the wrist. So you simply take a hold of your fingers, use your thumb here as a pivot point, and then just stretch open. If you're doing this from seiza, kneeling on the floor, you can just put your fingers on the floor and stretch it that way. But here in standing, it's fine to just stretch the wrist right here on the open side. And on the other side, repeat. This is especially good for people who spend a little too much time in front of a computer. These can get pretty tight, so it's nice to give them a good stretch. So for our last stretch, it's another Nikyo stretch, and we're going to take the palm of our hand and put it on the outside of our hand. Get a good grip here so it's not going to let go. We want a 90-degree bend in the elbow and a 90-degree bend in the wrist. Here, and then we rotate the fingers as if we're trying to touch the nose, but we're also dropping the hand towards the center. So we stretch like this. One way that we kind of joke about accomplishing this, if you're confused about the body position, if you're old, you might remember walk like an Egyptian. It's like this on its side. Or I sometimes say lazy cobra. Cobra, lazy cobra. Stretch. Other side, palm, a good connection. Again, we don't want a gap. Good connection, get a good grip, lift, and sink towards the center. I hope you find these helpful. Again, it's going to help you get stronger, able to receive the techniques. It also teaches you how to put these techniques on someone else. And if you have a tool in your hands and somebody's trying to take it away, you're going to have stronger wrists to be able to keep hold of your tool and be able to use it when necessary.
Thank you for letting us share. Bye.